There is a version of you that has never been activated, a version so disciplined, so focused, so internally silent, that if you met him today, he would feel like a stranger, not because he is aggressive, not because he is cruel, but because he does not hesitate, he does not negotiate, he does not argue with himself. When he decides, the decision is final. Most people never meet this version of themselves, not because it is rare, but because discipline has been misunderstood, diluted, and softened into something harmless. You were told discipline is about habits, about routines, about planners and morning rituals. That is not discipline. Those are accessories. Real discipline is something far colder. Real discipline is a declaration of war against the weakest parts of your own mind. Your excuses, your comfort addiction, your need to be understood, your hunger for approval. This is not self-help. This is self-conquest. The ancient philosopher Machiavelli understood this. He did not write for the gentle. He wrote for those who wanted sovereignty over themselves, because he understood a brutal truth. In a chaotic world, softness is a liability. Predictability is a trap. Emotional reactivity is a weakness that will be exploited. You don't need motivation. Motivation negotiates. Motivation disappears. You need something that operates even when you feel empty. And when you build that kind of discipline, something unsettling happens. People don't just admire you. They feel uneasy around you. They sense a fundamental shift. They sense someone who has ended the internal debate, someone who can no longer be talked out of action, someone who is not governed by moods. That is frightening, because a person who controls his own mind is almost impossible to control from the outside. Be honest with yourself for a moment. You're not tired in your body. You're tired in your spirit, tired of cycles, tired of starting strong and collapsing, tired of watching others advance while you repeat the same promises to yourself. You want something unbreakable. Understand this clearly. What follows is not about improvement. It is about demolition. We are dismantling the fragile, reactive identity you have been living inside, the emotional, approval-seeking version of you that folds under discomfort. And in its place, we are installing something sovereign. Listen carefully. The secret is not found in what you add to your life. It is found in what you eliminate. Most men live in chains they cannot see. Slaves to cravings, slaves to distraction, slaves to the opinions of people they don't even respect. They react all day long and call it living. The moment you choose discipline, that slavery ends. You become the authority, but authority always demands a cost. Are you willing to pay it? Phase 1, secrecy. Most people fail before they begin because they talk too much. They announce goals. They explain plans. They seek validation for intentions instead of results. They chase applause before effort. And that applause drains the hunger that was supposed to carry them through hardship. Discipline requires secrecy. When you explain what you're doing, you are asking permission. You are subconsciously asking the world to approve your transformation. Stop asking. The strongest person in any room is not the loudest. It is the one who observes, absorbs, and speaks last. Go quiet. When you go silent, you create a vacuum. People become uncomfortable. They fill that silence with their own insecurities. They wonder what you're doing, why you stopped explaining yourself, why their validation no longer seems necessary. That silence becomes your shield. Work unseen, fail unseen, adjust unseen. When there is no audience, there is no performance, only progress. Disappear if you have to. Months, no updates, no announcements, no justifications, just work. The body, the craft, the mind. Eliminate the noise. Eliminate the easy pleasures. Eliminate the people who only value you when you are idle with them. And when you return changed. You don't announce growth. People feel it. They see it in your eyes. They hear it in your restraint. They sense density. Stop clarifying your actions. Clarification is the language of the powerless. The strong do not explain, they execute. If you are tired, say nothing and work. If you are hurt, say nothing and recover. If you are succeeding, say nothing and continue. Your results will speak for you, and they will speak louder than any words you could use. The most dangerous work is always done in silence. Phase 2, emotional transmutation. There is a lie told about disciplined people, that they feel nothing, that they are numb. That is false. The disciplined man feels everything: the pull of comfort, the urge to quit, the weight of failure, the temptation to surrender. The difference is simple. He does not obey it. Emotion is not a leader. It is raw material. Most people act only when they feel inspired. That makes them predictable, and predictable people are easy to defeat. If you only move when you feel good, life controls you. Discipline is the act of moving directly against your emotional state. You take "I don't feel like it," and you convert it into "it is done." Passion is unreliable. Passion is a candle in a storm. Principle does not flicker. Train when you're tired. Work harder when you're angry. Focus deeper when you're hurting. Now you are unreadable. Your emotions become weather. You notice them, but you do not cancel the mission because of weather. You are the ruler. Your emotions are the crowd. You hear their noise, but you do not let them dictate policy. Use the 3-second rule. When action is required, you have 3 heartbeats. If you hesitate longer, your biology will sabotage you. Your brain is designed for comfort, not dominance. 1, 2, 3, move. No analysis. Analysis kills execution. Do first, feel later. Repeat this long enough, and something changes. You stop being a man who tries. You become a system, a mechanism that operates regardless of internal conditions. That is real freedom. Phase 3, solitude. Pause for a moment. Look at the 5 voices closest to you. Are they sharpening you or sedating you? Most people fear silence. They drown every quiet moment with noise, music, messages, feeds, distractions, because silence tells the truth. In silence, the mind speaks clearly, and for most people, it accuses them. You're wasting your potential. Solitude is not loneliness, it is refinement. As you rise, people will resist, not out of hatred, but insecurity. Your discipline becomes a mirror, and most people do not like what they see. They will say you changed. They will say you're intense. They will say the fun is gone. Good. Fun is the sedative of the mediocre. You're not here to entertain weakness. You are here to build sovereignty over yourself. Schedule isolation, monk mode, deep work. Call it whatever you want. Shut the door. Kill the noise. Confront the task. In solitude, you will meet boredom, anxiety, resistance, and you will defeat them privately. When you return to the world, people will feel it. They will sense someone who does not need them, and paradoxically, that creates respect. The lion does not debate the opinions of sheep. Phase 4, unreadable consistency. Undisciplined people are transparent. Everyone knows how to break them, pressure them emotionally, distract them, shake their confidence. Disciplined people are anomalies. Provocation brings no reaction. Loss brings recalibration. Crisis brings execution. No emotional leakage. Consistency becomes terrifying. Imagine a man who appears every day. No speeches, no complaints, no excuses. Just output. Season after season. You cannot stop him. You cannot derail him. You cannot discourage him. He is inevitable. Stop seeking sympathy. Stop narrating your struggle. When you seek consolation, you expose your vulnerabilities. Control your posture. Control your expression. Control your presence. Even if your foundation is shaking, stand firm. This is not deception. This is authority. Phase 5. Absolute standards. You stumble because your standards are weak. Good enough is a slow death. Civilizations collapse from indulgence, not invasion. And you live in the most indulgent era in human history. To be disciplined now is rebellion. Raise your standards until average people call you extreme. Guard your time ruthlessly. Time is the only resource you cannot recover. When you are unavailable, your value rises. When your attention is scarce, it is respected. Discipline creates scarcity. Scarcity creates power. The summit is empty because few can endure the climb. Climb anyway. Phase 6. The burial. This is the final trial. You must bury your old self. Version that needed approval. The version that negotiated comfort. The version that whispered just this once. If you don't end him, he will sabotage your future. Yes, you will lose people. Yes, you will be misunderstood. That is the price of magnitude. Pay it without complaint. On the other side is a version of you that is calm, sharp, and unshakable. A man who mastered himself. That mastery removes fear. You stop fearing tomorrow because you are building it. You stop fearing others because they cannot outlast you. You stop fearing failure because it becomes intelligence. The world is growing softer, noisier, more distracted. This is your edge. While they scatter, you concentrate. While they seek comfort, you seek height. You will unsettle them, not by intention, but by example. Most people will close this video and change nothing. That is why they stay ordinary. If you listen to this point, you're not average. Comment below, I walk the steep road. And if you want deeper psychological tools for self-mastery, subscribe to The Symbolic Life. The old you is finished. Now go build the one they can't ignore.